Anthropic just released Claude Design, and it is being touted as a Figma killer. I want to test this against AI Studio and see which one can create a better landing page between the two. So the very first thing I'm going to do is go over to ChatGPT, and what we need to do is create a prompt. And so I'm going to be prompting ChatGPT to give us the prompt for AI Studio and for Claude Design. And with these tools, we're going to try to do as much as we can in a one-shot basis. We're going to make a lead generation web page. This page will include a form where people can fill it out, as well as different calls to action and copywriting best practices. So we're going to create a prompt using ChatGPT and see which of the tools comes out as being the best. I need to create a prompt for Claude Design and Google AI Studio. What I'm doing is testing to see which one of these tools is better at creating a landing page for a lead generation website. So the prompt that we need is something that is going to instruct them on web design best practices, as well as copywriting best practices. And the prompt needs to include that we are creating a lead generation website for South Dakota real estate agent. Let's just create it for Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and it is for real estate agent. And we are wanting them to fill out a form on the web page to get a quote to sell their house. So we're going to put that into ChatGPT. It's not the best prompt that I've ever done, but we're going to see what kind of thing that it comes up with. So it says, you don't just want a prompt, you want something that forces both tools to show their real capability. Most people underspecify this and end up testing fluff instead of actual design plus conversion thinking. Here's a high-performance apples-to-apples prompt you can drop into both Claude Design and Google AI Studio. So this has the prompt here, guys. It says, you are an expert conversion-focused web designer, UX strategist, and direct response copywriter. Your task is design and generate a complete high-converting landing page for a lead generation website. Now on here, it has context, so industries, real estate, location, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, target audience, homeowners looking to sell their house. Primary goal is get users to fill out a form to receive a quote for selling their home. Secondary goal is build trust and reduce hesitation. So it has different requirements from the structure to copywriting to design, different UX stuff, SEO basics in here. I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to take it over. It says how to get a better test. Most people miss this. If you really want to see which tool wins, run these 3 variations. Baseline, above, prompt, test general capability, constraint test, add, limit the page to only 3 sections, maximize conversion rate anyways. Aggressive CRO test, add this in here. So honestly, I'm going to test this using all of these. So let's come in here. I'm going to paste this in and I'm going to come over to Claude Design. And Claude Design, we've got to give our project the name first. So I'm going to say real estate test. We're going to leave it on high fidelity and hit create. So now inside of here, we're going to paste this in. So we pasted that text. The next thing that we're going to do is come over here. We're going to copy this, paste that in. So over here. So that's my, we're going to copy this, paste that in there. It added its own thing. All right, let's go ahead and paste that in there. All right, next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and just see, based on a one-shot, what these things are capable of, these tools are. So I'm going to hit build. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit send. I'm going to see which one, first off, which one gives us a prototype quicker than the other. So it's handing off to Claude Code. We can see what it's doing here. It's giving us an explanation of what it's doing at this time. And we're going to come over here. Google's doing its thing. It shows its reasoning and stuff. We can click in to see what it is that it's doing. Now, one of the cool things about Claude Design that you cannot do in Google AI Studio is you can actually start with a sketch. You can start by adding a sketch in, and this is something that you cannot do in AI Studio. Now, it looks like AI Studio has came up with something to at least visually show us what we're working with before we have a visual over on Claude Design. So that's something interesting. It's still doing its thing though, so it's still out here programming it. So that's that it's still working, but we can actually see different designs right here that we can choose between, which is pretty cool. That I'm not seeing that over here on the side for Claude. It's still going about its thing. Let's see. It looks like AI Studio finished first. It says designed and implemented a high converting 3-section landing page for the Sioux Falls SD real estate market. Page uses advanced direct response copywriting, unconventional conversion rate optimization, techniques to maximize lead gen. So different things that it's talking about: comparison, objective. And in here, we can actually select a design. So I'm going to go with So do you sell your home for top dollar without the 6 month? And it looks like Claude is still working right now. So Claude's still doing its thing. Whereas we have this done over on this side. So I'm going to just go about selecting one. I'm going to go with the bento grid. I think this one's pretty cool. Select this design here. So now it's going to go out and continue to do its thing as well. And Claude is still in the process of doing its thing. We can see progress 0 out of 5, build to hero, build proof, build lost framed, final CTA, add sticky CTA. It's still going about doing its thing. So we're going to let it continue on. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing that the design studio in Claude is taking its time. It could be a good thing, the fact that this could be coming out more polished and better looking and better copywriting than we see over on the Google side, but we'll have to see comparison side by side what they look like in the end. So guys, it looks like after we applied the bento grid, these actually finished up at the same time. Which is pretty cool. So this actually came up with a design that was similar to one of the options that we had over in AI Studio. Looking at AI Studio, we can see this layout here: get your equity report, instant market analysis for your specific address, put in your address and check value now. Let's see what it came up with over on the Claude design side. So we have Prairie and Pine Realty. We didn't give it a branding guideline at all, so we just are using this from the one shot. We can see sell your Sioux Falls home for $12,400 more in 18 days faster. So very specific copywriting here. From McKinnon Park bungalows to new builds in Prairie Hills, last quarter our sellers netted an average of $12,400 over list price. See what your home is worth in 30 seconds. No agent call, no email required to see your range. What's your home worth? Free 30-second home estimate based on 2,400 recent Sioux Falls powered by MLS columns. So let's scroll down. We can see here why 312 Sioux Falls families chose us. The proof isn't in the pitch, it's in the closing table. So they've got in here 312 homes closed since 2023, different pricing, days, percentages. This is very, very like set up and nice. This has a testimonial in it and everything. Honestly, this is pretty nice. So I love that this says live now. And then as you scroll down, a get my quote pops up, which then brings you back to this form here. Let's start typing in an address. So 3 Apple Street. So it doesn't populate anything either. Let's say, see my estimate. Oh, look at that. How many bedrooms, bathrooms. So to my range. Look at that, guys. Then it has the form in here to add in and then send me my full thing. So this is pretty nice. It came up with a very nice page. I love the form. If we look back over on Google's side, I'm just going to say 123 Apple Street in the same way that we did over on the other page. Check value now. Ask for name, phone number, it asks for name, phone number, email, and it says send report. So it's not as detailed as the other one is over on Claude Design. I like Claude Design better, honestly, especially for having localized information in here. It has different cool things popping up inside of it, interactive abilities. So that's pretty cool how we can create these. I think, like I said, Claude comes up with the better. Claude is the clear winner when it comes to copywriting. Claude's the clear winner when it came to design. I think that they had the better design, even though we had the options over in Google AI Studio. Google AI Studio was faster, but in a one shot, I think Claude did the best that possibly could have came out of this. Now we can go back and forth with each of these in order to create different tweaks and stuff. You can see up here, there's an option for tweaks. We just type it in for different options. We can leave comments in certain sections and say that we want to make changes there. We can click edit and we can choose to change the background right here. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff, guys. So I'm going to leave that there. We can change the font even. The base size. We can come in and draw on this and be like, so that's here, change this, right? So in order to deploy these, there's different things that we can do for each of these. Over inside of the Claude Design, we can download the standalone HTML, take this over to a place like Netlify or something and plug it in and be able to publish it live. There isn't a way to actually come in and just be like, all right, let's publish this and make this live on a subdomain of Claude's over on Anthropic. So one of the cool things about AI Studio is that we can actually go in and publish this directly from here. And by publishing it on here, It says your chat history and code will stay private. Your app will be accessible via a public URL. So we just hit get started, and then we would choose a Google Cloud project. We can either choose an existing or create a project. Then from there, we would publish the app, and this would be live on a URL that we can actually view and send to people. We can also go in and add our own domain name into the back on Google Cloud Console. So one of the upper hands I think AI Studio has when it comes to creating landing pages is that you can make them live from Google AI Studio, and you don't have to take it over to someplace like Netlify or another hosting provider. It also, all the functionality that you build in when you go back and forth with the app to say, hey, I want this lead form to email me, then it'll build that directly in. It puts the environmental variables inside of it and everything. And it stores everything, and it's good to go. Whereas with the design over on Claude's side, this did come out with better designs. However, it's not in a way that we can publish it live and utilize it from a URL from Anthropic. So I would say that's the biggest downside of Claude Design. It does come out with a better design. I think it did better. I think it did better on the copywriting as well. I think the interactive functionality was a lot better also. It's gonna be a lot harder to publish it live from Claude Design than it is from AI Studio, where it's easy to just hit a couple buttons and publish over on AI Studio and then add your own domain name to it. So I think the winner here is Claude Design when it comes to design and when it comes to application. I think that the winner when it comes to ease of use is AI Studio, because AI Studio, you can go back and forth and then publish it live directly from AI Studio, where you cannot publish it live from here. You have to have a different host and you have to be able to set those up. I think you need a little bit more technical prowess to be able to publish from Claude Design than you do for publishing from Google AI Studio. So that's my take. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you think AI Studio or Claude Design is better when it comes to creating landing pages or lead generation pages? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'll see you in the next video.